The Spanish Supreme Court has backed down and dropped Carles Puigdemont's extradition. The former Catalan president will move from Germany back to Belgium shortly. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. Today, the judge in charge of the independence case withdrew the European and international arrest warrants against the exiled Catalan leaders, who see this as a victory. On our show today, we'll tell you all about today's decision, and we'll get you all the reactions and what might come next. Judge Pablo Llarena criticized the German judiciary today for rejecting rebellion charges against Puigdemont. But while he could have taken Germany to the EU court, he opted for giving in. Not only for his case, but also for those of the rest of the exiled leaders.
Spain has given up pursuing the extradition of Catalan leaders abroad, at least for the moment. In a highly unexpected move, the Supreme Court withdrew the European arrest warrant against Carles Puigdemont, the former Catalan president, as well as those for 5 other politicians seeking refuge in European countries. The decision comes after Germany rejected the extradition of Puigdemont for the crime of violent rebellion. The German court ruling posed an uneasy dilemma for Spain. The extradition of Puigdemont was still possible for misuse of public funds, but then the former president could only be tried for a lesser offence compared to his ministers. Spanish judge Pablo Llarena ended up withdrawing the extradition order altogether and criticised Germany for, quote, its lack of commitment to events that could have broken the Spanish constitutional order. Llarena's decision means Puigdemont is now free to leave Germany and go wherever he wants, just like all the leaders abroad. The Belgian judiciary had already rejected the extradition of 3 former ministers, but the extradition request for a minister in Scotland was still ongoing. In Switzerland, the extradition of Esquerra Party Secretary-General Marta Rovira was paralysed, while no order was ever issued for Ana Gabriel, a former MP of the far-left CUP party. Meanwhile, in Catalonia, 9 pro-independence leaders remain behind bars. The reason is the same for which Spain was seeking to extradite their colleagues abroad, organising a referendum and declaring independence last October, all of it in the face of opposition from the Spanish authorities. Some have now been in jail for more than 9 months awaiting trial. But with a new government in Spain and the rebellion charges against Puigdemont rejected in Germany, some hope the jailed leaders might be temporarily allowed out on bail. Judge Llarena has the last say, but Spain's Attorney General has already rejected their latest request for release.
What the future holds now for the leaders in pretrial jail is presumably to wait for their trial to start, while behind bars. But meanwhile, Puigdemont and the exiled officials will continue walking free without facing trial. The former Catalan president is set to move back to Withdrew, his residence in Belgium. Before being arrested in Germany, he planned to launch a council to work towards Catalonia's independence. 3 of his former ministers are already in Belgium. All officials abroad will be able to travel to other countries. This, if the Spanish courts don't issue a 3rd extradition request against them after 2 failed ones. Puigdemont celebrated the court's decision and said it's proof of how weak the judicial case against independence is. His Catalan lawyers also welcomed the news, which they see as a victory. They said the Spanish judge was defeated and that international courts are taking their client's side. Puigdemont's German leading lawyer, Wolfgang Schomburg, was also satisfied. Catalan News spoke to him on the phone.
He always acted peacefully and called for peaceful demonstration. This can never be punishable in Germany, and therefore it was mandatory that the judges decided this way. I would say no other court in Germany would have come to another conclusion. As we said from the very beginning, this, from our perspective, it was never a matter for criminal law. Criminal law is the ultima ratio, the last possible tool to reach a goal. And when there is an internal political conflict in a country, then it must be resolved by political means, but never by means of criminal law.
Other officials whose extradition requests have been lifted have also commented on the news, as well as Catalan President Quim Torra.
cau com un castell de cartes tota aquesta estratègia processal que ha anat seguint l'estat espanyol. Alguna cosa hauran de fer, és que és inevitable, però jo no sé quina. Però el que nosaltres volem és que els nostres presos polítics puguin ser ja amb les seves famílies i que els exiliats retornin ja a casa.
Diferents jutges de països amb democràcies avançades estan dient que no hi ha cap mena de fonament amb les acusacions més greus de rebel·lió. Per tant, no té cap mena de justificació que continuïn a la presó els nostres companys.
Bé, és una victòria més judicial a la que des d'aquí a Europa es dona. És evident que vol dir que ni Escòcia, ni Suïssa, ni Bèlgica, ni Alemanya entenen la justícia espanyola. I, per tant, ens és una victòria que a nosaltres ens satisfà plenament, però només ens farà més contents en la mesura que ajudi a que els nostres companys i companyes surtin de la presó, els Jordis i la resta de membres del govern de la Generalitat de Catalunya.
Moving on, if you're visiting Catalonia and traveling by plane, you'll have to watch out for the several strikes planned. Ryanair cancelled some 400 flights in and out of airports in Spain. This due to a cabin crew strike called for July 25th and 26th. And in the 2 days after, Iberia, Spain's flag carrier airline, will face another strike by its ground crew. More than 2,000 workers are expected to join the protest, which might also affect the Catalan firm Vueling. On July 31st, staff from all Spanish airports will also go on strike. Up to 60,000 people might join in on the stoppage in one of the busiest days for airports in the whole year. Still on business, 400 million euros is the yearly estimated economic impact to be brought by a new fare landing in Barcelona. Presented today, the ISE International Congress, gathering the audiovisual sector, is expected to attract at least 80,000 visitors per year. It will first be held in 2021, after moving from Amsterdam, and its organizers believe that this will help the public see Catalonia as a place to invest. Moving on to culture now. One of the biggest, most international and weirdest film festivals in the country is gearing up for the fall, and it just announced 3 more big names that will be in attendance.
Nicolas Cage, Ed Harris, John Carpenter. These are just some of the names you can expect to see at the Sitges Film Festival, held this fall just south of Barcelona. The 2 world-class actors were just announced today as accepting the Grand Honorary Award at the event dedicated to all flicks fantastic, sci-fi and frightening, alongside the already confirmed Peter Weir. The prize was also previously awarded to names like Susan Sarandon. The festival will end with a concert by John Carpenter, cult composer, filmmaker and screenwriter. The 51st edition of the Film Fest, held at the beginning of October, is also set to pay tribute to the role of women in the world of cinema. Blaxploitation starlet and Tarantino muse Pam Grier, horror pop actress and acrobat Helga Line, and feminist personality and cult diva Tracy Lords. The festival also wants to acknowledge that we stand on the shoulders of giants, or rather of monoliths, when it comes to the works themselves. On its 2018 poster, it pays tribute to this year Kubrick's classic 2001 A Space Odyssey, which this year turns half a century old. Last year was the Film Fest's own 50th anniversary, and for the occasion, renowned Mexican director Guillermo del Toro played Master of Ceremonies to an audience that was 30% bigger. This year, organizers are hoping for even more.
Today, we finished our show with images of a small bay in Begur, on the picturesque Costa Brava. Some citizens believe this beautiful landscape is in danger, as the local government intends to allow the construction of flats and hotels. But enjoy footage of how we see it today, and we'll see you tomorrow.